Paul Geymann arrived in 1965 as Bartlesville's first athletic and physical education director for College High School and the newly opened Sooner High School. During his tenure as athletic director from 1965 to 1976, not only did the number of varsity and junior varsity sports greatly increase, but College High and Sooner High won 14 state championships. He was also instrumental in starting women's sports in Bartlesville, as well as initiating physical education at the elementary level. He was selected 1976 Oklahoma Athletic Director of the Year.
The first time I met him was in 1969. I was the basketball coach at Dewey and Cecil Epperly was at Bartlesville. And we were scrimmaging and Paul came up to watch the scrimmage because he was the athletic director. And the next time I met him is when there was a vacancy in basketball and golf at the College High School, and I interviewed with Paul for that job. So we've been friends since then.
First time that I met Paul Geymann was in 1970. I had applied for a head baseball job and assistant basketball job in the Bartlesville Public Schools. And then I was fortunate enough to be hired as the head baseball coach at Sooner and assistant basketball coach Don Calvert.
Well, I had been working in Oklahoma City, John Marshall, for 3 years, and I decided I wanted to change, and he met me, and we briefly stopped by the principal's office and had a little visit with the principal, and then we met the superintendent. At that time it was Earl Hammond, and Earl and Paul both were avid golfers. So we actually went out on Adams Golf Course and had my job interview with the superintendent.
Of course, he played on the championship team in 1946. He was part of that team. And then after that, he coached. He coached the state championship team at Enid in the 50s. And then was an assistant coach at University of Missouri and assistant coach at Oklahoma University. He's a graduate of Oklahoma State. I'm a graduate of Oklahoma State. So we had some common things, and it happened to be that we were involved with the same coach at OSU. So we could talk about that a little bit.
Well, he was real personable. If you were having a bad time, he was always there.
If you wanted the perfect athletic director, he was it. He gave you total support. He also gave you total autonomy in running your program. He did not interfere with, pretty much he didn't interfere with scheduling, officiating, but he was there, which is really kind of what you want in an athletic director. You want somebody to support you, fund you, and stay out of the way.
See, I coached till 1976, and I think at that time Paul left the athletic directorship and went back to the classroom. I got into administration at that time, and then roles kind of reversed, and I was supervising Paul at that time. So Paul was always the same kind of guy. When he was my supervisor, he acted the same way when I was his supervisor, so it was always a good relationship.
One of the things that a coach wants to do, a coach's job is to put your player in a position where that they can be successful. I think that would be my summation of Paul. He put his coaches and the athletic director, and the athletic programs in a position that they could be successful during the time that I worked for him.
I've always appreciated Paul, his friendship. He's always been very honest and forthgiving with his recommendations and conversations. I consider him a good friend. Feel fortunate to have known him in a professional sense, and wish him the best.
Paul Geymann.